guys? We've just finished our session. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really good session. We went ham. So what we're gonna do now is just answer some of your questions. So the first question I've got is, wait for that car to get out of the way. How much should you work incline bench versus flat bench? So basically, this is a very subjective question depending on the person. So like a lot of people, depending on your anatomy, you might have a really big dominant upper chest, in which case you won't have to train it as much, maybe like once a week, or maybe like after you bench you might just do a little bit of incline press because you don't want it to look too big. But for most people I'd probably say supplement it once a week. But if it's a lacking body fat, train it twice a week. The exercises you can do for these are quite easy. You can either do incline bench or you can do incline dumbbell press. Incline dumbbell press is really good for functional strength, so it allows you to stabilize the muscle a lot more. So it's really good to do in general. So I definitely recommend doing it. Evan, do you want to input to that?
Yeah, in terms of versus flat bench, you do them both. So they do slightly different muscles. Flat bench takes more of the weight onto the chest. Incline starts to take it more towards shoulders and upper chest fibers. So you do both. Like my old split used to be flat bench and then dumbbell incline. My new split I might do incline barbell or incline dumbbell first and then move on to a flat bench.
Yeah.
So after I do both at the same time on a chest focused push day. So I don't do one versus the other more. I do them both at the same time. Right. So next question. Bench form. How bent should your elbows be on a bench press? It's hard to do it here without showing you, but really you'll end up getting to 90. Your elbows on a bench, you're not going to be like here. You pick a nice comfortable mid-range on the bar. I tend to have my pinkies on the smooth bit. If you want a barbell, you know what I mean. Smooth bit, so it's about mid, and then when you come down, my elbows are about this bent. Just past 90 maybe, something like that. Bar touches about my chest, lower chest, and then back up again. So you're not bending them, you're just coming down with the bar. You're not focusing on your elbows, you're focusing on pushing the bar up and controlling it down.
Yeah, with the elbow position, guys, you don't want your elbows to be too flared out because then you start incorporating too much delt and it just feels uncomfortable. You won't be able to stabilize it as much. So focus on locking your traps in. Like as if you were doing like almost bending the bar. That way you'll be able to lock your lats in and then pull your elbows in. So you don't want it to be flared out too much, like I said, because it's gonna put too much stress on your shoulders. So basically, put your elbows in a little bit and then just lower it, control it, and then press at the bottom. Like in terms of how much it should be bent, some people like having lowering it all the way to their chest. Some people like doing a squat press where they just go an inch off. So it all depends on like what you're used to doing. Both work, and as long as like it's muscle under tension, it works.
I'm trying to show you. Elbows in. I can do up against this. Elbows in. You get your elbows out here. That's going to hurt your shoulder. Yeah. You can tear your shoulder. So if you lock it in, as John's saying, locking it in, so it's kind of almost like they're on a diagonal, straight out.
Not too much. Not too much. Because you're going to start incorporating triceps as well. Just like a little bit. You know when it's comfortable, and you know when you're flaring it too much because you start getting your front delts hurting and like pinching a bit. So just listen to your body, guys. That's the main thing. All right. I think we smashed that one. Next. Alright guys, so basically I started training when I was 15, so about 8 years going up to 9 years now. Yeah, I just wanted to get bigger and stronger. I used to play a lot of sports, I used to play rugby a lot. So I thought going to the gym is just gonna give me a little bit more bulk and a little bit more strength. So when I get on the rugby pitch, I can like dominate a bit more. I was a flanker, so like we were basically known as nutcases. Like, so I have a bit of bulk on me. So yeah, and ever since I just fell in love with it. I go to the gym quite frequently now, and yeah, 9 years later, going strong.
What made you choose powerlifting?
The thing is, I've literally only just started powerlifting for the last 2 years. I'd say 2 years and a bit. I did bodybuilding for such a long time, and my strength was going up and up and up. So I just thought like I don't really have too much of an interest in bodybuilding, and I like getting stronger. Like a lot of people that powerlift motivate me, like Ross Wool, Johnny Candito, Lara Wales, all of these big names. So I just thought I might as well just give it a try, see how strong it can actually get. Try doing like a periodized style training block, and yeah, I feel a lot better when I'm stronger. Like it's all good, looking good, but like I just feel like personally I feel just more confident, just better after a gym session after I just lifted some heavy weights. So that's the main reason that I've basically transitioned to powerlifting style. At the moment I'm kind of doing power building, so it's a mixture of both, but soon enough I'm going to start focusing just mainly on powerlifting as soon as I actually realise when I'm going to compete. Yeah.
So how long have I been training for? If I can pin it down, maybe I was 14, so 9, 10 years, similar to John. I just got into it, just went to the leisure centre, started training about 5 times a week for like an hour, and like junior sessions at the gym that they did. Started getting into basketball, so that was pretty much what I did all the time. Did plyometrics, a lot of speed training for basketball, and some power stuff as well. And then while I was at uni, I started taking the knowledge of my uni course and applying it just to get bigger and bigger, and I started really enjoying pushing weights. You know, when you get to 100 kilograms on bench, I just want to keep going and going and going. Bodybuilding wise, I've been going for or men's physique, I've been going for just over a year and a bit. Done one comp. I got into it just because I just wanted to try it. I've seen a lot of people do it, follow a lot of people on Instagram who do it. A few people have said that I've got the build for it, so I just thought, sod it, I'm going to give it a go. Found a coach, went at it hard, and now I've just fallen in love with it. I just enjoy the grind, so carrying on. That's it.
Yeah, good.
Right, guys. One question would be, what's the difference between like a powerlifting kind of style of training and then a bodybuilding style? I mean, I haven't done powerlifting that much, apart from when I've maybe gone for 1 rep maxes, but I don't do the training style. So I'll just talk about bodybuilding, men's physique, and John can mention kind of how we used to do powerlifting. So bodybuilding and stuff, it's mainly higher reps for high volume. So I do, 8 to 10. My lowest rep range would be 6 to 8. So I'm still getting a lot of reps in, and I'm doing isolation movements like lateral raises, or I'm doing a lot of incline stuff to get big compounds in, but I'm doing 12 to 15 reps, 10 to 12, 6 to 8 when I go heavy. So I'm getting a lot of volume in, getting a lot of hypertrophy into the muscle, getting a lot of blood into the muscle for the growth side of things. I'm not so much going for the strength, which is the lesser rep ranges, which is what John can go into now.
So yeah, like he said, bodybuilding is a lot about muscle under tension. So it's about literally just keeping the tension and then doing a lot of reps in order to tear the muscle up. When it comes to powerlifting, it's a lot more about just like explosive power and strength. So what you want to do is work around 80+% of your 1 rep max. And then it's a lot different in the way they program it as well, because with powerlifting, let's say if you're doing like a 6-week program, the first 2 weeks is going to be hypertrophy based. So you want to build the muscle so you have the potential for strength. And then once you're getting towards the 6 weeks, you slowly start to up the intensity and reduce the volume. So doing this is going to allow your body to acclimate to lifting heavier weights while reducing fatigue. So basically, as you're getting close to the competition, for example, you want to basically reduce the volume significantly whilst increasing the intensity, because then you'll be able to recover for your next session. And also the difference between powerlifting and bodybuilding is, obviously with powerlifting, you're judged on 3 main lifts, so bench, squats and deadlifts, and you focus a lot more on the technique in order to get the weight up, because the aim of the game is to lift as much weight as possible. So you have to focus on the details. For example, in bench, a lot of powerlifters have the arch, and this is to reduce the range of motion, and also things like retracting the scapula and using a lot of leg drive. And with deadlifts, just like thinking about the form, for example, I'm a sumo deadlifter, is very important, because like you have to think about the technique very precisely in terms of your position at the bottom, driving with your legs, spreading your knees out to engage your adductors, just little things like that. It's very technique based. But yeah, main difference is powerlifting is about lifting as much weight as possible. Bodybuilding is about muscle under tension and building as much mass as possible, tearing the muscle fibers and growing at the end of the day. If you want to look like Arnold or Kai Green,
or me,
legends like that. So yeah, guys, that's the main difference. Like a lot of powerlifters, like they're tiny. Like you see someone that's like 75 kilograms and they can deadlift 350.
Yeah.
So your neural development is very, it can develop very quickly if you train it right. So your nervous system is very good at getting stronger. So it doesn't matter how big or small you are, you can always get a little bit stronger if you train right, you diet right, you program right. A lot of the times it's literally to do with not doing. I keep thinking that you're doing this. A lot of the times it's about what was I gonna say? It's about knowing when to pull it as well. Because like you can smash it, like do loads of exercises, but that's not gonna be doing much for you. A lot of powerlifters literally go in the gym, they'll deadlift, squat, or bench press, and they'll literally do like one other exercise and go home. And then for the next session, they'll recover to smash it again. So it's not about volume at all. It's about focusing on the right lifts and building the technique and the strength whilst reducing fatigue in order to increase the weight on it. And then there's a lot of different programs out there that like basically manipulate those variables that I just spoke about, but the concept's pretty much the same. So yeah, guys, that's the difference between bodybuilding and powerlifting. That's the gist of it. Yeah, I hope that helps with you if you want to choose to do one of the two. But yeah, guys, that's basically the answer. It's a long ass answer. But yeah. All right, so question for Evan. Obviously, you competed. Was it
October last year.
October last year. I just wonder, like, what is the prep for like dieting leading up to competition like? In terms of like your energy levels, what you're eating, the calories, just things like that.
It sucks. So I started off. It all depends on kind of the person, the size, the macros that you need. So I might have X amount of protein. You know, they say have, you know, however much protein per gram of body weight and things like that. So mine was clean carbs, a lot of veg. The carbs would be rice. Veg would be like asparagus, greens, that kind of stuff. Meat would be rump steak, so lean beef or 5% beef mince. It would be lean turkey mince or lean kind of chicken breast. You know, the standard of what you would expect. And obviously on a prep, you'd start off on whatever the maintenance is, get into the groove of it, gradually drop it down, increase cardio to increase energy expenditure. So you want to be in a deficit, so you start to lose weight. If you're in a surplus, you'll gain weight. So for a prep for a show, you want to be in a deficit. You start to lose the weight, reduce the food a bit more, you reduce things like sugars, so you avoid anything sugary. You avoid anything high and dense in like fat, so I wouldn't have like avocado, which some people think is a superfood, but for a prep I wouldn't be having it because it's high in fat. So it may basically be lean meat, rice, and a whole lot of veg, and it gradually drops and drops and drops as I did it in a slow way, so I tried to get to stage weight 2, 3, even 4 weeks before my actual show, so that me and my coach could fiddle around with my weight, so we could see kind of what I soaked up more for when I wanted to carb up for the show, when I wanted to look fuller, what worked best for me if I wanted like a dirty cheat meal, or if a clean cheat meal, or if a clean meal that had more into it, and we could fiddle around to get me into the right shape for the show. So as you would expect on a diet, you start off with however much food and maintenance is, and you gradually go down and down. Energy-wise, energy kept pretty high because I'm having good food and I'm keeping motivated, and you know, the cardio, waking up in the morning and working out. Okay, I was tired and I was a zombie coming to the end of it, but at the end, you know, if you get into a good rhythm of it, which by that time you have, my energy was still pretty high. I was still pushing quite heavy weight. I didn't notice any strength loss until maybe a month out of my show when I was like at my leanest. So I think at my leanest I was like 92 kilograms. I'm about 105 right now. So I was only really noticing, I kind of plateaued. I didn't get any stronger, and then for the last like 2 weeks of training I started to get a bit weaker because I was as lean as I ever have been. So I didn't get stronger, but I didn't lose weight until the end. But other than that,
so the question is,
diet.
Were you doing like, you were having cheat meals, yeah, like every now and again?
No, not on my prep.
No cheat meals?
I had one, but it just didn't really work as well.
I was going to ask what you had for your cheat meals.
I had TGIs.
Too disciplined.
I had TGIs. For the one cheat meal I was allowed, I had TGIs, and it didn't work, and I was gutted. So I just ended up having more rice. But no, you can't. If cheat meals work, then cheat meals work. That's what I had. Like, that's what me and my coach figured out. If a dirty meal high in fat would make me look fuller, or if a high carb, high protein meal would make me look fuller, because they do. It's different for different people. So me, it was clean.
Alright guys, comment down below guys if you want to see me compete in a bodybuilding competition.
Do it.
And yeah, like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the video guys. Follow my boy Evans on Instagram. I'll leave his link in the description. And I'll meet you guys in the next one guys. Peace.
Peace guys.